For a long time, the critics were loud, confident, and completely certain they were right. They said the timelines were pure fantasy and the vehicles would never actually get built. They said the reservations were just numbers sitting in a database collecting digital dust forever. They said the whole thing was a beautifully rendered dream that would eventually fade away quietly. Electric vehicle startups had faded before, and this one would be no different, they believed. And for a while, when updates were sparse and silence grew heavy, doubt crept in. When the company went quiet and the skeptics got louder, it was hard not to wonder. Maybe the critics had a point after all. Maybe this really was just another dream. But that kind of doubt is exactly what every transformational company has faced at some point. Tesla was laughed at, Rivian was questioned, and now a new name is answering its skeptics clearly. The pattern is familiar, but the product is completely different from anything those companies have ever built. Solar-powered transportation requiring no plug is not an iteration. It is a fundamental rethinking entirely. But something has shifted now, and that shift is impossible to ignore if you are paying attention. Something real, something physical, something you can actually touch is happening inside a warehouse right now. That warehouse is in Carlsbad, California, and what is happening inside it changes everything completely. What was once a vision, a concept on a screen, is now something you can count. The numbers, the footage, and the evidence of real progress tell a story that matters deeply. Because evidence is stubborn, and real progress is the one thing that critics simply cannot explain away. The doubters are going to have a very hard time arguing against what is happening now. A reporter from a local television station in San Diego recently visited the Aptera Motors facility. This was not a PR event with carefully staged props and scripted walkthrough moments for cameras. This was a journalist walking into a working warehouse with cameras rolling and nothing to hide. The cameras captured something remarkable, not because it was flashy, but because of what it proved. It proved that Aptera is building real cars, multiple cars simultaneously, right now in California. When you first walk into that warehouse, the thing that hits you immediately is the noise. It is busy and loud and full of real activity happening on the production floor continuously. You are not looking at one carefully maintained showroom model put there for photographic purposes and PR. Then your eyes adjust and you start to see them lined up, taking shape together. The bodies, the shells of the vehicles, are right there in front of you, real and solid. If you count them, and the reporter did count them, you see 5 vehicles being assembled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles in various stages of assembly, all happening at once. That is not a prototype built for a trade show and shipped off to collect dust. That is a small but real, functioning low-volume production line operating right now in California. This matters more than it seems on the surface, and here is exactly why it does. For years, one of the most common criticisms against Aptera was about crash testing requirements entirely. The argument was simple and almost logical. Crash testing destroys every single vehicle that gets tested. If you cannot build multiple vehicles, you cannot crash test them, and cannot get regulatory approval. And if you cannot get regulatory approval, you simply cannot sell anything to anyone ever. It was a kind of checkmate argument, and it was not entirely without its own logic. But those 5 vehicles sitting in that warehouse answer that checkmate question directly and completely now. They are building multiple units right now, and crash testing is no longer a distant hypothetical. It is something that is currently possible, currently underway, and getting more achievable with every single shift. Now here is something that deserves a closer look because it reveals genuinely smart strategic thinking. Aptera made a deliberate decision to bring assembly of their vehicles onshore to the Carlsbad facility. Rather than having vehicles fully assembled overseas at the CPC Group facility, they chose California instead. On the surface, it might sound like a minor logistical detail, but the reasoning is brilliant. When you ship a product across an ocean in a container, you are paying for volume. A fully assembled vehicle takes up a lot of space, and that space costs real money. But if you ship the components unassembled, you can fit significantly more units into each container. The pieces nest together. They stack. They fill available space far more efficiently than full vehicles. This means for every container shipped, Aptera gets more vehicles worth of parts into the country. Final assembly then happens in California, which has massive benefits for quality control and manufacturing oversight. It also creates jobs locally and allows manufacturing issues to be fixed without crossing multiple time zones. The tool that makes this local assembly possible is called a jig, and it is clever. The footage from the warehouse shows the jig in action, and it is worth understanding how. Body panels and structural components are loaded into the jig, and adhesive is carefully applied first. Then a series of levers and clamps come together, simultaneously holding everything in precise, perfect alignment. The glue cures with everything held exactly right, and the result is consistent, repeatable quality always. The beauty of a jig like this is repeatability, and that is exactly what production demands. Every single vehicle that comes out of that jig is assembled to the exact same tolerances, the same angles, the same specifications, the same quality, because the jig removes human variability entirely. You are not relying on a technician to eyeball an alignment, because the jig does it. It does it the same way every single time, and that is how you build quality. That is how you build quality at scale, without sacrificing consistency across thousands of individual vehicles. The result is a vehicle body that meets the exact same standard every single time, without exception. And speaking of scale, the CEO of Aptera shared a production figure that is genuinely significant. When the production line runs at full capacity, the goal is approximately 40 vehicles per shift. 40 vehicles per 8-hour shift. Let that number sit with you for just a moment. If you run 2 shifts a day, 5 days a week, the numbers become very significant. Those numbers start to actually address the wait list, which currently sits at 50,000 reservations total. 50,000 is not a small number, and it grows a little larger with every passing day. 50,000 people have already raised their hands and said clearly that they want one. 50,000 households are waiting for a solar-powered vehicle that may never need to charge. That last point is worth dwelling on because it is the core of what makes this different. The Aptera is not just an electric vehicle, and that distinction is not trivial at all. It is a solar electric vehicle, and that small difference changes everything about how you drive. Most electric vehicles are simply battery-powered cars that still depend on an external energy source. The grid still has to be powered by something: coal, natural gas, nuclear, or renewable sources. The fuel is electric rather than gasoline, but the dependency on outside charging still completely remains. Aptera is attempting to break that dependency entirely, and the approach they are using is sunlight. The vehicle is covered in solar cells on the roof, hood, rear hatch, and even dashboard. All of these surfaces are integrated with photovoltaic material that continuously captures energy from the sun. In a place like Southern California, a driver can capture up to 40 miles of charge daily. The average American driver travels something in the neighborhood of 30 miles per day in total. That means for most daily use, the car is functionally energy self-sufficient from the sun alone. You park it, the sun shines on it. You drive away the next morning with free energy. No plug, no charging station, no energy bill. Just sunlight converting directly and cleanly into motion. That is a fundamentally different relationship with energy than anything that currently exists in the automotive market. This is not science fiction. This is physics applied at scale. And it is happening now. The solar panel production happening inside that Carlsbad warehouse is what makes all of this real. The footage shows stacks and stacks of completed solar panels ready to be integrated into vehicles. Roof sections, hood panels, rear hatch panels, all of them stacked up and waiting right there. The volume of panels already manufactured is striking and tells you exactly how serious this team is. This is not a team that built 1 or 2 prototypes for demonstration purposes and stopped. This is a team that has been quietly, diligently building the components needed for real production. The commitment to this mission is visible in every panel, every jig, every shift worked there. There is another detail in that warehouse footage worth talking about because it raises an important question. Among the solar panels visible in the footage, not all of them are destined for Aptera vehicles. Some of those panels appear to be for Polydrop, a company that makes aerodynamic teardrop trailers. Polydrop has a relationship with Aptera Solar, which is the panel manufacturing arm of the ecosystem. The presence of those panels tells you something important about the business model being built here. The solar panel manufacturing operation is not just supporting one product, but multiple product lines simultaneously. That means it is generating revenue and building production experience at the very same time now. Multiple revenue streams mean the company is not betting everything on one single product launch going perfectly. That is a much healthier business position than being entirely dependent on a single vehicle launch alone. There is also something telling in the older artifacts visible and tucked quietly away in the warehouse. Old honeycomb pattern body panels from a previous generation of the design are sitting quietly there. An earlier prototype is wrapped and recognizable to anyone who has followed this company for a while, including the one famously wrapped in gold for a fundraising trip to the United Arab Emirates. That trip did not generate the kind of investment traction the company had hoped for then. But here is the thing about those moments of difficulty and those near misses in startups always. Fundraising challenges are part of every startup story, and every company that survives finds another path. And finding another path requires resilience, creativity, and a team that refuses to give up entirely. Aptera found their own path forward, and that path runs directly through the public financial markets now. In October of last year, Aptera Motors was officially listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange publicly. Going public is not a magic solution to every challenge, but it does something genuinely valuable here. It creates visibility, credibility with suppliers, and access to a completely different class of financial capital. Suppliers and potential financial partners who might have been hesitant before are now much more willing. A publicly traded company is easier to evaluate, easier to invest in, and easier to trust. And a company with a clear path forward, even a difficult one, is worth paying attention to. The suppliers matter enormously right now because one aspect of production is still done completely by hand. The footage shows workers welding the roll cage by hand, and for now that is appropriate. For validation vehicles and crash test units, hand welding is entirely normal and expected at this stage. But for the high-volume production that 50,000 people demand, that process will eventually need to change. A supplier with the tooling and capacity to produce roll cage components at scale will be needed. Building and welding by hand right now is not a red flag. It is completely normal progress. It means the design is being refined, the dimensions validated, and the specifications being carefully locked in. When the time comes to hand that work to a high-volume supplier, the blueprint will be perfect. The chassis components are already in transit, being shipped right now, which means the supply chain is moving. Pieces are in motion, timelines are being met, and this is not a company sitting still waiting. This is a company making things happen sequentially, methodically, the way you must when building something new. Building something new in an industry that does not forgive careless shortcuts or lazy engineering decisions ever. And the vehicle itself is genuinely new, worth saying plainly because it can get lost in discussion. The Aptera is a three-wheeled aerodynamic solar-electric vehicle with a design unlike anything else on roads. It looks like something between a sports car and a spacecraft, and that is intentional engineering design. The teardrop shape is not an aesthetic choice, it is an engineering choice driven purely by aerodynamics. That shape produces the lowest aerodynamic drag, which means the vehicle requires less energy to move forward. Less energy to move means the solar panels do not need to generate as much to recharge. Less energy needed to recharge means the battery stays fuller longer and the range gets extended naturally. Extended range means the solar sufficiency promise becomes more achievable under real-world daily driving conditions always. Every single design decision feeds back into every other design decision in this tightly integrated complete system. That integration is part of what makes it so difficult to replicate with any existing vehicle platforms. You cannot just bolt solar panels onto an existing car design and call it the same thing. The whole vehicle has to be designed from the ground up around the idea of solar sufficiency. The weight distribution, the aerodynamics, the structural support for the panels all have to be designed together. And that is exactly what this team has been doing for years while the critics kept doubting. That patience, that persistent forward movement in the face of doubt, is what real innovation looks like. The CEO has stated clearly that the goal is to get vehicles on the road in 2026. That is not a distant date, it is not a decade away, it is the very next year. And the activity visible inside that warehouse suggests strongly that it is not an empty promise at all. There is also a roadmap beyond the initial launch with future models at varying price points planned. Different range specifications, different price points, different segments of the market being actively considered and thoughtfully planned. This means the company is thinking about accessibility and making solar mobility reach a much broader audience. Not just for early adopters with high disposable income, but for regular, everyday people everywhere eventually too. Solar mobility for everyone, not just the wealthy early adopters, is the long game being played here. Think about what that could mean over time for people living in sun-rich parts of America. If you live in Arizona, California, Texas, Florida, or New Mexico and drive a reasonable distance daily, an Aptera could theoretically eliminate your transportation fuel costs almost entirely, just from daily sunlight alone always. No gas, no charging bills, just whatever the sun provides, and in those regions that is a lot. And if you occasionally need to travel farther, the battery is always right there waiting for you. You plug in when you need to, but the baseline, the default, is always completely free energy. Free energy from a source that has never once sent a bill and shows no signs of stopping. The sun is the oldest energy source on Earth, and this vehicle finally lets you use it directly. This is what makes the progress happening in Carlsbad feel like more than just a company milestone. It feels like the early stages of something that could genuinely change the relationship between people and transportation. Not overnight, not by this time next year on every road, but incrementally and measurably starting now. Starting with 50,000 people who have already decided they want in, and expanding outward from there. Those first 50,000 are the proof of concept. The market signal, the foundation, everything else builds on. The 5 vehicles sitting in that warehouse right now are not just 5 vehicles to be counted. They are proof that the engineering works, that the assembly process works, that the solar panels work, proof that the supply chain is coming together one shipped container at a time, moving steadily forward. Proof that this team, which has faced skepticism and funding challenges, is still standing and still building. Proof that the full weight of conventional automotive industry inertia has not been enough to stop them. They kept moving forward because the mission was bigger than every single obstacle thrown in their path. The doubters had their moment, and they asked their questions, and those questions were completely fair ones. Can you build enough vehicles to test? Can you manufacture at scale? Can you put them on roads? And the answer coming out of that warehouse in Carlsbad right now is yes. Simply and clearly. Not eventually, not in theory, not someday in a distant future that never quite seems to arrive. Yes, right now. With real vehicles, real solar panels, real workers, and a real production line operating. Because the question was never really if they could do it, but simply when they finally would. And that answer is becoming clearer with every vehicle body assembled. Every solar panel stacked, every shift worked. What happens next in that Carlsbad warehouse is going to be worth watching very, very closely indeed.